Shalom, shalom wa ahava, mishpachah, shalom wa ahava. Peace and love, family, peace and love. It's your Agnaraya ben Ayaunde, Neria ben Yahuda ben Yasharel. Whatever your dialect may be, may I say shalom to you all, to the whole house of Yasharel, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, to wherever we've been driven to the lands of our captivity. I pray the Most High Yah, Bahashim Yahushua, who the world has come to know as Christ, finds you all in peace, love, and safety in this time of judgment, chaos, corruption, and deliverance for the people of the Most High Yah. Hallelujah. Message shalom to you all 12 tribes of Yasharel. May we be gathered in our lifetime. Hallelujah, Mishpachah. Mishpachah, I want to, take an opportunity dealing with current events to share something or an observance that I've seen just in the recent situation with Kyrie Irving in the NBA, and looking at the response to certain situations and dealing with authority, and the way that a brother like Kyrie Irving responds to situations versus a way like Kevin Durant, you understand, responds to situations in dealing with authorities and the power that should not be, Mishpachah. And this was a prime opportunity to introduce to the people, or reintroduce, because our elders have been telling us this, and anybody that's been about trying to unify and rectify the problems within our community, unify our people and rectify the problems within our community, they know the importance of a strong so-called black family. You understand, Mishpachah? And that takes a man, a breadwinning man, and a female that knows how to nurture her children, Mishpachah. You understand? As the late, great Dr. Wilson told us a long time ago, it takes both, Mishpachah. And what you're seeing in the way that Kevin Durant is responding to what's going on with his brother Kyrie is a prime example of why men, fathers, we cannot leave our sons or our daughters, you understand, and our presence in their life. The presence of a strong father figure, you understand, is very important, and it's blatantly obvious when you look at the way that a brother like Kyrie Irving carries himself and the way that he deals with the authorities, that he works for, versus a brother like Kevin Durant. You understand? And it goes all the way back to what was done to us in the Willie Lynch letter, Mishpachah. You understand? And I want to read a couple of paragraphs out of the Willie Lynch letter, that you can understand the difference in behavior between a brother like Kyrie Irving, who had a strong so-called black man, an Israelite, a strong Negro man in his life, you understand, that taught him how to stand on principles, you understand, and regardless of how much money you make, be able to look yourself in the mirror when you wake up in the morning and be able to look your children in the eyes and let them know that you was a man in time of adversity. You understand? That comes from having that male in your life, Mishpachah. And they purposely, back in the 60s, the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, they purposely broke our families up the same way they did in slavery, Mishpachah. So I want to share something with you from the Willie Lynch letter and the making of a slave. And we're going to go into the section that says the breaking process of the Israelite woman, of the African woman, of the Negro woman, of the so-called black woman. And we're going to go down and we're going to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to read 5 short paragraphs, Mishpachah, and it's going to help us to understand why Kyrie Irving, whether this is psyop and it's all scripted, you understand, that they're trying to set us up for something that they want to do to the awakening in the future, or whether this is real. We can still learn from the situation that's being presented to us, being presented to us on their television. We can still learn a lot from it. You understand, Mishpachah? Now, it says, we reversed nature by burning and pulling one civilized nigger apart and bullwhipping the other to the point of death, all in her presence, breaking the strong man. Like what they call it with what they doing to Kyrie Irving, sleek out, buck breaking. You understand? That's what this is. All in her presence. By her being left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, The ordeal caused her to move from her psychologically dependent state to a frozen, independent state. Independent black woman. Independent woman. You understand? That's the goal. That's by design, Miss Picard. Make her independent. And then nowadays they make her independent and make her think that it's a good thing. You know? In this frozen psychological state of independence, she will raise her male and female offspring in reversed roles. The women will be sitting at the head of the table. Reversed roles, Miss Picard. For fear of the young male's life, she will psychologically train him to be mentally weak and dependent, but physically strong. Is that not most of our athletes out there? I'm sorry to say it, but you've noticed they prey on the brothers coming from compromised past, coming from poor and poverty-stricken past, usually with single black female mothers. You understand, Miss Picard? Because she has become psychologically independent, she will train her female offspring to be psychologically independent. I don't need no man. I don't need no man to give me nothing. I don't need nothing. I can do everything by myself. I'm every woman. It's all in me. Anything you want done, baby. You understand? That's all by design, Miss Picard. What have you got? You've got the nigger woman out front and the man behind and scared. I'm almost embarrassed to read this. This is a perfect situation for sound sleep and economics. This is the perfect situation for sound sleep and economics. Before the breaking process, we had to be alertly on guard at all times. They had to watch niggas. You understand? When we was strong before they broke, you know what I mean? They couldn't really go to sleep. We was like, yeah, go to sleep if you want to. We coming up in there. You understand? We had to be alertly on guard at all times. Now we can sleep soundly, for out of frozen fear, his woman stands guard for us. Let me read that again. Now we can sleep soundly, for out of frozen fear, his woman stands guard for us. He cannot get past her infant slave process. He cannot get past her infant slave process. He is a good tool now ready to be tied to the horse at a tender age. By the time the nigger boy reaches the age of 16, he is soundly broken in and ready for life's sound and efficient work and the reproduction of a unit of good labor force, Miss Picard. You understand that? Thus, you have the different reactions and the different behavior between a brother like Kyrie Irving and a brother like Kevin Durant. A brother like Kyrie Irving, who said kings give rise to kings, who has a very close and strong relationship with his father and stands on the principles that he believes in. And a brother like Kevin Durant that just line up, roll his sleeve up, take the juice. His boy out there getting pulled in between horses, getting buck broke virtually and media-wise by the powers that should not be. And he just standing there sitting silent, taking it all in because he's been taught to eat out of his master's hand. Hallelujah. And with that, Miss Picard, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And always remember to keep the fire burning. A little more oil in my lungs. Hallelujah, Miss Picard. To all the fathers out there, whether you got sons or daughters, do not leave your children behind, Miss Picard. If you got a happy marriage, do whatever you can to make that thing last and survive. And if things are broken up, it don't matter how frustrated that woman might make you. Do not abandon your children. And definitely, don't abandon none of them. But please, Miss Picard, do not abandon your sons. You understand? Because this is all by design in order to try to leave us behind and keep us from getting on the road to Zion. Hallelujah. Kumar Yasharel. Kwam Yasha'Allah. Rise Yisrael. Shalom. Shalom. Salam Miss Picard. Hallelujah.